So I just finished my first Gracie Combatives class. Well, technically it's my third, but it's my first since signing up earlier today. We did headlock counters, which is something I was kind of familiar with. A lot of the moves, a lot of the techniques are the same. It was pretty straightforward. You know what's interesting is that without rolling, I feel like rolling is like the main event and drilling is like the pre-fight, right? It's like the undercard. And people just want to get through the undercard to get to the main event. So training Gracie Combatives, where I know there's no rolling and there is no main event, the drilling is the main event, I felt like it required a lot more focus, and I felt like I paid more attention, and I felt like I got more out of the drilling than I normally would when I'm just getting through the drilling to get to the roll. I hope that makes sense. Maybe I'm some unique, impatient guy, but I think a lot of people want to get through the drilling to get to the rolling, because the rolling is everybody's favorite part. So not having rolling at the end was kind of weird, but I feel like it helped me get a lot more out of the drills and out of the practice. And you know, we did this headlock counter, which you guys, if you're not familiar, I can explain it a little bit more if you want. Let me know in the comments. But I got to practice my armbar, because the last step of this headlock counter is an armbar, which of course, it's the same at my old school. It was the same progression, you know? I think in my old school, there was more detail and more focus on like connection. There was more focus on body positioning and weight distribution. But we talked about that and we hit on that. And when I asked some questions, you know, it was reinforced. But for the most part, it was interesting because I don't think I've ever drilled arm bars as much as I did tonight. I know we've done it before, like I've done it in private lessons and stuff. And I learned some tips and tricks for me as a big guy on how to get my leg around and get the arm bar and make it a little more fluid. It's still not as fluid as I want it to be. But I think my arm bar improved a lot tonight. Because again, we weren't thinking about what was next. This was the main event. And so focusing on the positioning and keeping my posture and making it feel fluid, making it flow was really nice. And that's not to say we didn't do that at my old school, because we did, but I think the intent and the focus was different. The intent and the focus was a little bit different because that was the main thing. That was the completion of the lesson. And so to feel good about the lesson, to feel good about the training, to feel good about the class, demonstrating that the different techniques and the different slices, as they call it, to get to the that finished product was really great. A lot of little details, a lot of little tips and tricks, things that I think I mostly knew that I picked up on from my previous school, but a lot more detail and more time. It felt like we had more time to go over the details. It felt like we had more time to really focus on the little things, rather than like, okay, let's do it 5 each side. Okay, now let's roll. You know, it felt like this was the meat of the proverbial sandwich. I feel like I've said that enough times now. I'm just kind of rambling. We're 3 minutes in, so I'm going to leave it at that. Video diary number 1, day 1 of God knows how many it is until I get my combatives belt, which still feels kind of weird. But I feel nice knowing that I'm working towards a foundation, knowing that I am in process, or I'm in progress towards something. And tomorrow when I come back, I know what I'm going to be doing. Tomorrow, I know exactly what class I'm going to do tomorrow. And even though I haven't done it before, I have an idea. And hell, I can even go home and watch the videos on the computer, provided I'm already have access, which I hope I do by now. But yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions about Gracie University and Gracie Combatives, let me know in the comments and I'm happy to answer them. And thank you for coming along with me on my journey as Chris learns Jiu-Jitsu.